Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Naman and I'm a third-year neuroscience student at the University of Toronto, just like my friends here Nimit and Rushil. Today we'll be talking about helpful study strategies that can guarantee a 4.0 and other academic goals that you might have. So let's get started.
You've probably heard of this technique from other YouTubers. It consists of time intervals spaced out by smaller breaks. The most popular split has been 25 minutes of working, followed by 5 minutes of a break. It has been said that this method improves productivity drastically, while also keeping a fresh mind. However, in our experience, the breaks are very distracting while you're studying, since you're always anticipating the breaks.
The next study schedule is the block method. Some of you may know this from YouTubers like Sharma. Basically, instead of splitting up your studying, you just study for a long time interval, such as 3 or 4 hours. Even though it may be hard at first, we find this is actually the better method. This is because studying requires great focus, and taking break interrupts this focus. Therefore, you have to work extra hard to get back into the zone, which leaves a higher chance for you to be lazy. Try it out for yourself and let us know if it works in the comments.
To figure out what tasks you should be working on in the day, you should use the Eisenhower Matrix. Draw out a table with 4 quadrants. Sort these 4 out by important versus unimportant and urgent versus non-urgent. Important tasks contribute to your long-term goals. Then only work on the tasks in your top 2 quadrants and delegate or delete the others. This will help you get your priorities straight, which will increase your productivity.
Next, we'll be talking about some of the apps that we use to study and how we use them to organize our schedules. The first app we use to study is Notion. Notion is an app you can download onto your phone and your laptop. Due to its aesthetically pleasing interface, organizing your studying can seem fun and even therapeutic. I tend to use my checklists and task lists to have all of my tasks in front of me, so I know I'm staying on task. Moreover, I also take my class notes on Notion to keep them all in one centralized place, as opposed to tens of thousands of different Google Docs or Word documents.
The next app that's been useful in our academic career is Google Calendar. Especially for virtual learning, it's best to schedule your classes into your weekly calendar and allot specific times to studying. This way, there's less ambiguity in your studying, minimizing the procrastination that comes with it. You should leave some flexibility in your schedule to factor in some of the hiccups that happen throughout the day.
Even though Notion checklists are amazing, it helps to have an app that's totally dedicated to having my tasks for the day. That's where TickTick comes in. It keeps things simple and is a must-have on any student's phone. If you have an iPad to take notes on, GoodNotes 5 is a must. This app allows you to keep notes on your iPad digitally with many features that will make studying much easier. For example, instead of having to look through your binder to find those notes you took about 6 months ago, all you have to do is search up what you want. Moreover, you can move around text you've written already, so you can add extra notes in case you miss something.
Moving on, we'll be talking about some specific strategies that you can use to increase productivity and optimize your learning.
First of all, put your phone away when you start studying. Not in your pocket, not on your desk, but in a drawer away from your eyes and reach. You can reward yourself at the end of your studying session by spending 10 or 15 minutes just scrolling through your phone or whatever else you want to do on it. Phones are probably the #1 distraction that's hindering your studying, so don't think about it, just put it away.
Next, do not work on your bed. Not only is working on your bed bad for your posture and back, working on your desk is also backed by psychology. You want to ideally be working at the same place you will be taking your tests and exams, so you can be in the same state of mind. This is a theory called context-dependent learning.
As we've mentioned in our Conquering the MCAT series and many other videos, flashcards and spaced repetition is incredibly effective for retention and understanding. Use Anki or Quizlet for your flashcards and find decks that are already pre-made, so you don't have to waste your time actually making them.
And lastly, you want to make sure you stay flexible and ready for anything you don't expect. There will be unexpected events or situations in your life that will inevitably get in your way. However, keeping a strong attitude and being equipped to handle anything will get you through it. This involves both preparation and on-the-spot improvisation.
That brings us to the end of this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you learned something and drop a comment below if you have any questions. If you want personalized guidance, we can look over your email and resume for free. Just send us an email or comment below. Don't forget to check out our UofT playlist and the Conquering the MCAT playlist. See you guys in the next one.